Okay, so my impressions before taking African American literature course were that I knew African Americans had history, but I was never aware of the true history of African American literature other than the standard that was taught in high school classes. So I never had a true understanding of what contributions African Americans really made to the United States history. So I was really happy and hopeful about learning all that came with that. I didn't know that I would learn so much. So after taking the class, I have a totally different impression of African American literacy. I actually know who the people are that contributed to a better educational system, for equal rights, for a better standard of living for African Americans. I'm able to go to specific texts and be able to reference those texts for me to be able to teach my youth about where they came from so we can understand where we're going. And so after one of the turning points in taking the class is when we did do the debates between W.B.E. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. I never, first of all, knew of these debates, and when we did analyze debates and go over them together as a class, it was an aha moment because I was able to identify with what those two philosophers were saying. So what they were saying is the issues that are affecting my family and my community. So I was able to culturally identify with that, and that's something that I've never been able to get through any kind of class. And I think that that is something that all students should be learning through their course of education, because this is education. We're supposed to be learning all about the world, and African Americans definitely have played a vital role in America today. And and to my peers who not have had the opportunity to take African American literature, I would tell them that it's very important, because if you don't know your history, it will happen over again. If we don't know the discriminations and the views of the other cultures about us and understand the literature that they're putting out there to our kids, then it's going to all happen over again. We have to be in charge of the literature that our children are reading. If we are reading our own literature and demanding that our students read this literature, then the education system has no choice but to teach that to our kids. If we're not even taking the time out to read and understand about where we come from, then no one else will. And then they'll be able to rewrite history the way that they want, like they have been doing. So it's very important for us to take the initiative and make sure that we are reading all about our history and where we come from. And just like author Sloanberg says in The Negro Digs Up His Past, he urges Negroes to dig up their history in order to sustain themselves. So I definitely agree with that. So in order for us to know where we're going and to stop oppression that's facing us, we must dig up our past and be able to protect ourselves and fight for what we want and our rights in the future. Thank you.